Right, good morning grade 11s. Today is the 1st of June, Monday. Our matrics are back. We are happy to see their faces. Can't wait to see you guys. But in the interim, we need to continue with what we are busy, and that is trig. Now my advice to you is the following. This little Cartesian plane is your, and you guys like your crib note for grade 11 trig. Okay, so what I have here is I've got the normal Cartesian plane, AST, all strippers takes cash. I have reminded myself that sine is O over H, tan is O over A, cos is A over H. I have included my special angles there, and I have included the reduction formulas that we have learned last week. So 180 minus is in this quadrant with sine. So sine is positive, the rest are negative. 180 plus theta is in this. Everything but tan will be negative. And then 360 minus and 360 plus. So my advice to you is before you do anything, you need to know this off by heart. Quickly draw it on a piece of paper, on the front page of your test or your worksheet, what you're busy with, and this is what I'm going to use as a reference the entire time. So I'm going to move it to the side here. I want to work with it the entire time. I don't want to put myself in a situation where I have to think too much. Okay, so let's have a look. So today we are carrying on with the reduction formula, and we're going to do some more challenging examples. So once again, as I said last week, 90% of your work in trig in grade 11 is without the use of a calculator. That is why this is so important. Right, so without a calculator, I need to basically try and rewrite all of these big angles to a 30, a 45, or a 60. And to be able to do that, I am going to use my reduction formulas. Right, so let's start off. The first angle I have is a 300. How can I rewrite that question so that I have 300 as an answer? Now, looking at my reduction formula, I see I have 300 minus 60. Okay, will give me 360 minus 60 will give me 300. My next problem is 240. So looking at my angles, I will have 180 plus 60 is 240. My next problem there is 225. So I can write 225 as 180 plus 45. Right, we're halfway there of getting to an acute angle so that I can use my special angles. Right, so in 360 minus, only cos is positive, so therefore sine will be negative. So 360 minus means I'm going to have a negative sine of 60, and I am going to have to square that. Right, 180 plus. In 180 plus, I know that the only thing positive is tan, so cos will be negative, cos 60. Okay, and then the next one, I'm looking at 180 plus again, and I know that 180 plus tan is positive, and I use my reduction formula. Now I'm exactly where I want to be. I am in my first quadrant because now I have acute angles as far as I can see, and all of them are 30, 45 or 60, so I can use my knowledge of my special angles. So sine, there I've reminded myself is O over H, so it's minus. So at 60, I see that it is square root of 3 over 2, and that must be squared. Cos 60 is A over H, and tan 45, by now I hope you know it's square root 2 over square root 2, which is 1. So a minus and a minus is a plus. Square root 3 is 3. 2 times 2 is 4. Then a plus and a minus is a minus. And a half, you can keep it as a half, or I'm going to write it as 2 over 4. Your calculator can do that bit for you, even though it says without a calculator. And my answer is a quarter. Okay, so let's work with the same procedure through the next one. I want acute angles, so I'm going to highlight all the angles that are not acute. I have to work a plan out first. So, tan, how can I get 180 by using a reduction formula? I can say 180 minus 60. Cos 150 is as good as me saying 180 minus 30. Then sine 135 is me saying 180 minus 45. And then I have cos 180 minus 45. Now that I am at that step, I am going to use the 180 minus in each one of those first brackets combined with that acute angle to guide me whether it's a plus or a minus. So in this one we are working in 180 minus, and I know only sine is positive. So this is going to be negative tan 60. Cos is going to be negative cos 30. Then I have sine, which will be positive 45, and I have cos, which will be negative 45. Now I'm at my acute angles. I can focus on my quadrant 1. So at 60, I will have minus O over A, so it's square root 3 over 1, times minus, at 30, I have square root 3 over 2, plus sine 45 is square root 2 over 2, times minus square root 2 over 2, because A over H. Okay, negative and negative is a plus. Square root 3 is 3. 1 times 2 is 2. A plus and a minus is a minus. Square root 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So it's 1.5 minus a half is going to give me an answer of 1. Okay, right, let's look at C. So if I have cos 180 plus theta, I'm in the third quadrant, and only tan is positive. So instead of writing cos 180 plus, I am going to write negative cos theta. Okay, in 180 minus theta, only sine is positive, so I can write minus cos theta, and that is going to equal 1. Right, let's look at the next one. So I'm keeping my little crib note with me the entire time. Okay, so 180 plus I've got tan. So tan theta will be positive. I'm keeping them all in little brackets because I'm multiplying the entire time. 360 minus only cos. So sine will be negative. 360 minus, so tan will be negative. Tan will cancel out tan. A minus becomes a plus. And my answer is sine of theta. Right, happiness. Okay, so what if I move on to something like this? 1 minus tan squared 360 minus. So first of all, I know that that square is going to move out. 360 minus, only cos is positive, so tan will be negative. Right, so before I'm allowed to distribute that negative, I first need to sort out the square. A minus and a minus is a plus, and tan theta times tan theta is tan squared theta. Now I can distribute the minus, so my answer is 1 minus tan squared theta. All right. Now we get to the more challenging bit of it, and this is a really, really level 3 question. The previous ones were all level 1 and 2, so let's have a look how they can challenge me. So they say, if 17 cos theta equals negative 8 and theta lies between 180 and 360, determine without the use of a calculator the value of. So I have to go from cos to sine, which means cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. I need a Cartesian plane. Okay. Why did they also give that to me? They hinted to me that I will have to draw a Cartesian plane. So first of all, theta is not allowed to be between 0 and 180. It's only allowed to be between 180 and 360. So I'm just going to make my little crib note there, and when I look at 17 cos equal to negative 8, I know I can write that as cos theta equals negative 8 over 17. So I got my ratio A over H. So what are they hinting? Between 180 and 360, cos needs to be negative. Now cos is positive in the fourth quadrant, so I know through that I'm not allowed to go into the fourth either. So my triangle will be in my third quadrant. My adjacent side, my opposite side, my hypotenuse. My hypotenuse is 7. My adjacent side is negative 8. That makes absolutely sense because we're on the left-hand side. And by having that, I know that I can work out the opposite side using Pythagoras. Okay, so I know that the opposite side squared will equal the hypotenuse squared minus the adjacent side squared. So I moved in one step. Instead of saying opposite squared plus adjacent squared is hypotenuse squared, I moved the adjacent that side. Okay, so my opposite side is going to be equal to 225 square root. So my y side, in other words, is plus or minus 15. Which one will I use? Am I above the x-axis or below? I am below, so y is negative 15. Okay, so if I look at my questions, sine 180 minus theta. Okay, it's a reduction formula. Where do I find it? There. What do I know about it? I can rewrite it as normal sine theta. And normal sine theta is O over H. So minus 15 over 17 is my answer. B, if I have 8 tan 180 plus theta plus 17 sine 360 minus theta, I first need to rewrite these reduction formulas as standard tan, cos, or sine. So, in 180 plus, it's here, tan is positive, so this is going to become 8 tan theta. 360 minus is there, and I know only cos is going to be positive. So, sine 360 minus theta is negative sine theta. So, I have 8 tan theta minus 17 sine theta. So I've got 8 times O over A, so minus 15 over minus 8, minus 17 times O over H, minus 15 over 17. That's going to give me 15. Minus and a minus is a plus. 17 and 17 goes away. 15 and 15 is 30. Right, so if I look at C, cos squared 180 minus theta, I know the square moves out. 180 minus cos will be negative there. So I have minus A over H. So minus 8 over 17 must be squared. So inside a minus and a minus is a plus, and then I will have 64 over 289. Okay, right. I hope you have a lovely day working through these examples. Your homework for today is exercise 7.4 on page 191. Those numbers 4A, C, E, G, and 6A, C, and D. I hope you have a lovely day.